What's going on, everybody? It's Amerime Media. We are live today. I have Demon Engine with me.
I don't know if I want to be in a peaceful mood or just fuck everybody. Step on fall to sleep. That shit was about to be a good one too.
And today we have our guest. We have Navy Montel, aka Blurty Corn. How are you doing today, sir?
Oh, just another day in paradise, my man. How y'all doing? Thank you for inviting me on.
Of course, of course. Now I met you at HBCU Con earlier this year,
Hmm.
and I was just like, "Yo, this guy has a great personality, great energy. Got to make sure I touch base with him."
And then he found out the truth, and all of it went out the window.
Nah, you're amazing. Uh, and first off, love the setup. Look, I'm like looking at your background, finding little things. I'm like, look at here. I'm like, look,
Anyone who look, and I bring up my camera, the first thing they say is, "What is going on in that background?" Everything. I even
but
do
we're,
you a little bit better. Hold on, do you a little sound, lift up a little bit. There we go. Now you can see a little bit more of what I got going on.
oh wow,
Mm.
all right. For a split second, I thought you had Rob the Nintendo robot back there. I don't know why. Maybe that Nintendo Direct from the other day just started scrambling my brains.
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness.
It's definitely better set up than my background. All I got is flashing lights and
By the
Sir,
slick.
way, you can make your lights move to the sounds you make.
It's true.
that's pretty impressive, sir. I thought about putting. There we go. See, there we go. See that's a Twilight Zone whatnot. It's like you are in another dimension. Yes, you're no longer in the kitchen or the bathroom. You are in the demon show.
And
Hey,
now we're having the voice of God effect as it randomly
Oh
flashes.
my
But all
gosh!
I
See,
got is
now he
this.
just flexing. See, that ain't even cool.
All I got is this and a fucking doggo who's currently licking his nuts while sitting on my favorite pillow.
So glad we
Motherfucker,
are
move.
blurred out from seeing that little solo date. Okay.
Rico.
Rico, move off my pillow.
I've always wanted to put lights in my room, but then I realized I have no idea how I want to lay it out. And now that I've already got a lot going on as it is now, it's not a good idea. So we're gonna just
The simplest way is just string it up across the ceiling. That's what everybody else does.
I have one request if I could.
What's up?
Can I do my normal greeting like I do on my IG?
I actually wanted to know if you were gonna do it.
Okay, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, blurs of all ages, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. Once again, it's a frosty bearded blur to corn. Doing what I tell you to always do. Hopefully, you're washing knees, covering this, staying this far away, looking out for yourselves, your loved ones, and each other. Get vaxxed, get boosted, get real, stay safe, because people are stupid. Thank you for joining me. How you doing?
I like that. Oh, that was nice. That was real nice. You had a great show on yesterday, by the way, on Instagram.
Thank you.
Yeah, really nice.
Thank
Like,
you.
but you're here, and I have questions.
Oh, here we go. I'm about to.
Don't worry, we're
It's a
not.
10th degree. It's a 5th degree twice.
Don't worry,
It's the 10th
we're
degree.
not. For folks who know me for our interviews on YouTube and the interviews I've conducted in our magazine, I just like to get a chance to know the people a little bit better. And one of my favorite ways is one of my favorite first questions. Tell me about the very first convention you attended.
Wow. The first convention I attended was a Comic Con in New Jersey back in 1994.
Woo!
1994. And I honestly didn't know it was a Comic Con. At the time I was married, my ex-wife's brother-in-law, God rest his soul, one of the coolest dudes I ever knew. His name was Roderick. Roderick was big into toys, and he actually would go to the toy fairs and do interviews and do reviews of toys. And he and I, we clicked as soon as we met. So one weekend he just said, "Hey, I'm going to a convention. You want to go?" I said, "Yeah, let's go." And the great thing about it is I didn't have to bring the kids. So it was just him and me. And I had never gone to a convention before, but I heard so much about them. And when I walked in there, it was magic. So much so that you know how you're so mesmerized with something that the memories are just kind of fuzzy because it's all so whirlwind.
Right.
I remember picking up two things. I picked up the VHS of Street Fighter movie, the animated movie, and I picked up a VHS of the Yu Yu Hakusho movie. I think this was OVA number. I think the second OVA. And
this was back when like dubs were like done in people's basements.
they did a good freaking job with these, that's for sure. And that started my love for anime right there. That was a re-emergence for me because I had friends who got into anime, but they didn't have anything I could watch. And around that time, that's when Sci-Fi was doing their annual anime film festival that they're doing one a weekend every year. Bruh. You never see a grown man fangirl out until I knew that weekend all I could watch was anime. Bruh.
I remember there was something like that on the Sci-Fi channel. I think it was for a week. I forget what. I remember that they showed Flight of the Cockroaches, Vampire Hunter D,
Lily Cats.
I was a kid, so it kind of scared the crap out of me. Akira, which also scared the crap out of me. And
That's
you were
fair.
a kid.
yeah, I like.
We're not
Like,
talking about the late 50s.
No, this was the 90s.
As I take my chalice of bloodcorn and I sip upon it with all the tea that is being thrown from hither to yon.
Oh my goodness. So you.
Demon, I fucked with you, sir. I fucked with you, sir.
But
So I know what you're talking about because that's when I first saw Fist of the North Star.
ooh.
Man, I was transfixed on that TV. You hear me? The house could have been on fire. Somebody could have got shot out in the parking lot. Like 911. Okay, what's Ken get ready to do?
Yo, at first, when I first saw the Fist of the North Star, I was like, hey, he kind of looks like Jean-Claude Van Damme. Then I saw him fight somebody. I was like, yo, he'd fucking kill Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah, because Jean-Claude, when he would shout, you ever notice when he shouts, he gets cross-eyed or he kind of gets cockeyed.
Yeah.
He's like, ah, and that left eye would go, ah. It's like, what is he doing?
Listen, Sylvester Stallone does the same thing, but it's with his lips. They're like, ah!
Me, cut me, cut me.
I gotta do what I gotta do.
I gotta do what I gotta do, me. I gotta do. Cut me, Rick.
But all right, so damn, 94. So, see, I know I'm older now, but I'm like, damn.
I was 27.
Now.
Yeah, quiet you.
Wow.
He is
And,
our elder.
So I'm sorry. I was 25. I was 25 at the time, and I was active. It's like you smell that? You smell that? What do you smell that? That was an uppercut I smelled. Sure,
It's okay.
you can.
It's okay. Not a problem. Not a problem. Keep that same energy when there's another little on this show. Keep that same energy.
Oh.
He folds like Sunday origami.
Wow. Lord have mercy. It's like
Anyway.
it's like watching people. It's like watching midgets box. I'm gonna get you. It's gonna be a matter of time. I'm gonna get you. Ah!
So, Navy Montel, did you serve in the Navy?
I did. I am retired.
Oh,
Navy.
okay. Thank you for your service.
Appreciate it. I never get used to this. Even after I retired in 2007, I still never get used to that. So thank you for your service, but I'm done.
And you can't listen. A lot of folks don't come back to get the thank you. So it's one of those.
Yeah.
Eh.
Yeah, giving flowers while you can. Oh, trust me, I completely agree with that philosophy. But thank you, I appreciate it.
Yeah. Plus, it's just also good just for especially the folks out there to see that nerds are full people. We live full lives. We do shit. It's not
Hmm.
like it's not all yelling about Marvel versus DC. Like,
Oh, we ain't gonna talk. We ain't gonna get into that. Yeah, we as blurs, we know how to muggle. We
There's
definitely know
no
how to muggle, huh?
there's no need to talk about Marvel versus DC.
here he
When
goes.
DC kicking his own ass.
You know what? Like I said it before. I say it again. I fucks with you, demon. I fucks with you, sir.
Ew.
I fucks with you.
I never seen a whole company RKO itself.
From out of nowhere. Oh yeah, bad girl. Yeah, bad woman. Yeah, bad girl. Bad, whatever. We're gonna
Yeah,
shelve it
Batgirl
all.
out of from like yeah, the filming's done. We're in post production. That's great. We're canceling it. Wait, what?
When I saw that, me and my friends Slim Jones, Do You Speak Nick's from Do You Speak Geek, we sat there, we talked
Mm-hmm.
about it, and they said, bruh, you really gotta be kicking your own ass. After what y'all did to the Justice League and had the nerve, had the absolute unequivocal prepubescent gall to think that that was going to be your benchmark for all your cinema. Bitch, you got to
Look,
be kidding me.
I just at this point I really need Kevin Feige to sit here and pull up their Suge Knight moves. Just like I'm sorry what they did to your movie, baby
Mm-mm,
girl,
mm-mm,
but I got a
mm-mm.
script right here for you. Just slide that shit across.
Yo, now before the rest of the our social media found out that the post about Henry Cavill was a prank, I used to make I had fun with Demon on it because I was we made a post saying how at D23 they announced the Fantastic Four and Henry Cavill was Doctor Doom, and our stuff literally blew up. But the funny thing is, I still think if Henry Cavill is to come to Marvel, it's going to go down exactly the way Demon Engine said it. How do you? You said it was like they out there in Europe filming The Witcher. He's walking back to his set.
He's walking
He
back
just
to the set and he just sees Kevin Feige sitting there. Possibly Kevin Feige. You know what? Possibly Samuel dressed up as Nick Fury.
oh, shit.
Wow. This is where the love music starts playing, you play a little bit of, maybe music Soul Child or maybe a little bit of Joe,
I
you know.
got I got one better. Kevin Feige is sitting outside the trailer and he's talking to him, and then the door opens to his trailer. It's Samuel L. Jackson with a glass of scotch. Like, come on, motherfucker, let's go. Let's not play and act like you debating this shit.
Oh, come on. It's and even if they did bring in Henry Cavill into Marvel, and I talked to a couple of my friends at the store, said if it let's say by pure happenstance they did decide bringing Henry Cavill to Marvel, they need to cast him as a villain that has never seen the screen. They need to bring him in as a villain or a hero that has never touched the screen from Marvel.
Hyperion.
Hyperion or Sentry.
I can see Sentry. I don't know how I feel about the blonde hair, but I can see Sentry.
Mm.
I
Okay.
can see and that would have more
as a further disrespect if they put him in Sentry or Hyperion.
man, come on. Come on. Come on. Can you imagine Contest of Heroes finally making it to the screen?
Wow.
And you see Henry Cavill playing the superhero from was it from France?
Oh
La
wow.
Peregrine, yeah, the La
Wow.
Peregrine. Because Contest of Champions would offer so much to Marvel. Because if you've read the Contest of Champions, and I have all 3 issues, you see the boxes behind me. There are
Mhm.
10 and a half long white boxes. Most of them I had since I was a kid.
Oh.
So comics are in my blood.
Okay.
So
What was the first comic that made you like, yo, I want to be about this. I'm down.
You're gonna laugh at me.
No, I won't.
Um, when I was 8, I had a best friend. His name was Steven. I would go to Steven's house. Steven was a good guy, really, really sweet dude. But his father was one of those Pentecostal kind of people.
Mm.
But he still allowed his kids to be kids. And his father loved me to death. If it wasn't for his dad, I would have had a chance to listen to every Bill Cosby CD or LP that was out there. Trust me, because I memorized every skit Bill Cosby ever did. And that's when I realized, wow, I can talk. So we're just hanging out one day and I'm looking in his room and he's got this comic on the floor and it's Little Audrey. And I picked it up. I said, "You want this?" He says, "No."
Hmm.
This comic was from 1954. Little Audrey from 1954. And from that point on, that was one of my first comics.
Little Audrey. Wow.
Yeah, because Harvey Cartoons was doing all kinds of stuff.
That I can't even laugh at that. I'm borderline mystified. Like, wow.
I've got it bagged and boarded right behind me. It's been my ride or die since day one. It survived 2 marriages, 4 kids, and all kinds of shenanigans, especially 2 ex-wives. We can talk about that.
Listen, no.
Ex-wives are a danger to your personal belongings.
I'm gonna say this. Listen,
ex-girlfriends too.
It's like,
come on, man.
Listen, I love my nerd stuff. Why? Because at the end of the day, I know it's still gonna be here. We don't know. The odds are in our favor today, but we don't know about tomorrow.
That part.
Sitting near my game collection or my mangas, I'm gonna start looking at you the way I looked at.
But the comic that really made me fall in love with comics, there were 2 of them. First one was Black Panther #1.
Ooh.
And the second one was the Eternals when DC had Eternals. Eternals number 15. This is when Jack Kirby was drawing it. So I fell in love with comics, and that's when I started learning about Jack Kirby, Steve Ditko, and then I just knew about all of John Byrne, Mark. Man, Steve Ditko, that cat, he was the definition of articulation when it came to fingers, because you could read and see how hands are and fingers are drawn, and it's so sad they did him the way they did him, because that man.
Yeah. Listen, I'm waiting for Vice News to do the dark side of comics.
Oh, please let them do it.
I feel like people like that just sit around whenever they're out and about in public and they're sitting there drawing. They just start with the hands first as a flex on anybody that walks.
Yeah, because a lot of people, they can draw faces, shoulders, everything, but hands.
Hand articulation is hard because it's angle. There's expression. It's from what position you're looking at the hands, and if there's conversation, if it's just a gesture. And I say, like, but Steve had that down to a science. He really did. And that's what I said. I love comics, and here I am, years later.
Okay.
God, wow. Wow.
You just took a moment and like really looked at it.
Yeah, I just looked and said, "Wow, I'm a sexy beast. Look at this. Wow." But that's why I love comics. They took me to places that I had never gone, and actually got a chance to show that my imagination is not just playing make believe. And that was the journey on for me to becoming a blurred. Or as I say now, a blurticorn.
The blurticorn. What made you go with that? Because I mean, it's catchy.
Believe it or not, the motivation for that came from Tiffany Haddish. And not in a good way. Not in a good way. Because when she wrote that book, The Last Black Unicorn, I said, what the fuck? Are you serious? Yeah, I'm about to get grown up in here. Because as blurs growing up, being subjugated for loving games and comics
Hmm.
and anime and manga and things like that. And we was getting beat up. Now,
Yes.
people talk about bullying now. Nah, what y'all thinking about is, oh, they said this to me on Facebook. They said this to me on social media. Then turn it off. Stop
Oh.
worrying about what they say. It don't mean anything. So when she came out with that, I got mad because I said, wow, you're not a nerd that I know of. If you are, you're hiding it really well, and you're not living up to what I believe a black unicorn is.
Mm.
So I was calling myself a black unicorn. I was expressing to people, and I said, no, I want to be different. I want it to be unique. I want my word. So where is it? There we go. So not only did I come up with blurticorn, but I came up with the definition of the
Mm.
word. It's defined as a blurred or black nerd whose unique passion for all nerd related interests goes beyond normal definitions or parameters.
Mm. All right.
So
Shoot.
I'm a blurticorn because you know what? We're blurs, we're black nerds, and we're unique. We're special. We are mythical creatures that actually exist. So we're unicorns. Put it all together. What do you have? You have a blurticorn.
Blurticorn. All right. That wow.
My
Okay.
goal, my goal is to have that word put in Webster's because they got all these other shitty ass words up in there. Why not?
Good point. Very good. Listen, if Homer Simpson's dough can make it, anything's possible.
Come on, man.
But
How's the search engine's name now an official word, a verb, no doubt? Did you Google it? No, I didn't look at it. Why? Oh, you mean the website? Oh, what?
right, that's. I was just like, I don't want to give them too much credit now. Wait a minute. But you know what the sad part is? Never
Mm.
heard someone say, "Hey, can you Bing that?"
And you never will.
Hey, Demon Engine, can you Bing something? That don't even sound right.
No, it doesn't. They say, yo, Angie, Google it.
You know what? I'll bing it. I'll bing it. I'll just let me open up. Let me open up fucking. Just let me open up Microsoft Edge and I'll bing it for you.
Oh my God! Stop.
No, go into Bing and go into Microsoft Edge and
And the
add.
sad part is, I have Xbox, so I only can use Microsoft Edge on my game on my
Oh,
console,
that's
and
so
even
sad.
I don't use Bing.
That's come on, right? Come on. It's like that feels like a prison sentence right there. You can only use Bing. What? What? Oh
Yeah,
man, I'll rather use Ask Jeeves.
yo, not Ask Jeeves.
I'll
Back
rather
when we were
ask.
all about those modems, and as soon as someone had a 56K modem, you couldn't tell them nothing.
Fam, people don't know the struggle. Some people just don't know the struggle. They are
Yeah,
privileged. I will say this now with technology the way it is now, they're privileged, but you really don't know the hustle until you've had to do everything with pen and paper. You've had to walk to a library, which I loved going to the library.
like now there's an app for D&D,
I know. I have it downloaded.
Facts.
I
but
have
it's a,
that,
but it's
but
just like wow. That's,
Though I don't know if I'm gonna be using it anymore considering last night's session the DM quit.
what? Whoa! What?
wait a minute.
Whoa!
Wait
Wait,
a
wait, wait,
minute.
wait, wait.
What?
Momento, por favor. ¿Qué pasó?
I would say this between all the metagaming between everybody else and my antics, the DM was just like, nah, I quit.
Wow.
Sir, you mean you made your DM rage quit? Your DM rage quit.
I said this. My current character is level 7 and it's basically impossible to hit me.
What are you, a whisper or a sneeze? What the hell?
I am a paladin warlock.
Ooh.
With and if I use shield on top of all my other shit, my ace goes up to 33, and my cloak of displacement makes it so you have to roll at a disadvantage to hit me.
Okay, I can see why he rage quit. See, you did that mess on purpose. You did that on purpose, fam. And I've been playing Dungeons and
Mm-mm-mm.
Dragons since I was 18. You did that shit on purpose.
Mm.
I've done quite a number of things. I've
You've
casted
done
spells at
horrible
levels.
things.
I've
You've done.
casted spells at levels that you're not even allowed to do in the game.
See, you see, Salty, you see what's going on here, right? You see this, right?
Yes.
You see this conspiracy right
He's
here?
all yo. Every time I hear something from his campaign, it's always some bullshit.
Fam, that's not a reputation that you want.
Like, first off, you set fire to things when you get agitated. Mind you, y'all be inside a tavern in mid conversation. Like, now everything's on
Bruh.
fire.
This is
Bruh.
because
Oh,
my
here we go.
character has trauma. Waking up, sound asleep, sleeping peacefully, and then suddenly waking up to damage on multiple instances. It's made my character quite a bit jumpy, and everyone's
Yo.
learned to stay at least 16 feet away from her because the
Yep.
max range of her thunder wave is 15 feet, so it'll stay at least 16 feet.
Oh my
Oh my
heavens.
goodness.
Dude, your
Exa-
character's got PTSD. Ain't that some shit? Oh my gosh. God bless America.
Like,
Oh, I gotta have to go.
your character needs a ye old therapist.
I got PTSD from living in Philly. My character got PTSD from playing with them niggas.
Mm-mm-mm.
I
But,
can't be mad at that, sir.
Okay, so what were your top cartoons growing up?
Oh man. A lot of the cartoons that I like growing up are cartoons that a lot of kids don't even know of anymore. First of all, the entire Hanna-Barbera superhero lineup. We're talking Space Ghost,
Space Ghost.
Frankenstein Jr., The Impossibles, Mitor, Herculoids.
I know the Impossibles.
Yes, The Impossibles were my jam. As soon as you hear the music, dun, 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 I would get so hyped, even though it's one of the goofiest damn cartoons ever in the world.
Hey.
And then all of Hanna-Barbera. I mean, I grew up with cartoon. Like I said, I grew up with Pixie and Dixie, Huckleberry Hound, Yogi Bear, Snagglepuss, Magilla Gorilla, Wacky Races, Johnny Quest, original Johnny Quest, not that modern. No.
Yeah, that was a very interesting attempt at revitalizing Johnny Quest. It was a brave venture.
It was until you saw Haji.
Yeah.
I'm like, so we're gonna make this a modern rendition of the same cartoon, but his sidekick, his friend, looks exactly the same. We could take away the turban. That way, we're not trying to continue to have him talking to Johnny just like this. I'm telling you, we shouldn't be doing this sort of thing with your father around.
Mm-mm-mm.
So my cartoon lineup was Saturday mornings, easily.
I'm not gonna lie. You said that, and I thought the Gabriel Iglesias, and it took me so hard not to just go back like this while you're talking.
Oh,
my
the head nod. Oh
Yes.
my, yeah. That's because it's very accurate.
Oh gosh.
It's one of those things that no one wants to talk about, but it's very true.
7 years ago, blah blah blah. Yeah, exactly what you're talking about. Don't forget to get your squishy. Thank you so much for your time, sir.
And the sad part is, if you're not one of their people and you get caught doing this, they look at you like, "Hey, not cool."
He's like, what are you doing? Oh, I'm having a seizure. Have you seen my meds? I'm having a seizure right now.
Not a seizure.
It's like, what the? Yeah, I'm having a seizure right now. My apologies. You know, I'm pissing all over myself. You got a diaper with you? No diaper?
Oh no.
No diaper? None? Okay.
I remember when they did like a CG Yogi Bear, and it was like, and the sad part was Dan Aykroyd's voice for it was there. He had it.
He had something.
It's just the overall concept. You can't really do live action like that.
No, you can't. You can't. There are certain things that should never touch live action. Flintstones shouldn't have been touched. They had thought about doing the Jetsons at one point, but they shelved that real quick.
Mm.
But what I loved is when they decided to mix DC heroes with Hanna-Barbera characters.
Oh my goodness.
They paired Speed Buggy with Flash. It was brilliant.
I mean, that's not a bad idea.
Snagglepuss had his own comic, and he did not look like nothing like the cartoon. This dude was a G. He made Pink Panther look like a wuss.
That's because the Pink Panther.
I know you're gonna say it. Come on,
Come on. I don't know. He just. Yeah.
I'm gonna let y'all have this conversation because y'all currently talking about things.
Because I'm pretty sure he's just looking around like.
My bad. You know, if I mentioned Toonami, I'm pretty sure people would perk up. So you know,
there you go. But
that's where it started for me, and that's where my love for comics was the animation and the art, and that was sacred. And even now, the mystique of Saturday morning cartoons it's lost on a lot of people because that was where we went from 6 a.m. to noon. Your parents knew where you were, unless you're one of the parents that would kick your kids out of the house. My mother worked at a hospital. She was a nurse. So she was asleep. So she already knew where her kids were from 6 a.m. till noon. And after that, get out my house. Yes, ma'am. My mother and my grandmother, the same thing. Cartoon is over. Yes, ma'am. All right, go ahead and take yourself. Go down the street and play with your friend Brian. And Brian was my comic pusher. He actually was. He was my enabler, big time.
Your comic pusher.
He was. Shout outs to my man Brian Payne. He and I haven't talked for years. But if I ever see him, I would give him a hug and say thank you because he helped give a huge boost to my collection. One Christmas, my uncle gave me a Wilson basketball. I'm not athletic. The only sport I enjoy was track. Why? Because I was running from everybody and I was good at it. So one Christmas, he gives me a Wilson basketball, and my mother looks at me. I look at her. She says, "I know, Monty. I know." My mother knew me. I love my mama. She's like, "I know you don't like this thing." I'm sitting there going, "What the am I supposed to do with this? This ain't for me." So I went outside with the basketball because I wanted to be like, "Hey, I dribbled it." My uncle, woo, and my friend Brian came from across the street, and he starts chatting with me. He says, "I like your basketball." I said, "Thanks. I swear this seems like it's playing out from a scene from a movie." He says, "What's wrong?" I said, "I don't like basketballs. I'm not a sports guy. I like to run. I like to do that." And he says, "You want to trade?" I said, "What you got to trade?" He goes back in his house. He comes out with it. This had to be today's measurements, a 3x3x4 cardboard box loaded with comics. He opened that lid. I said, done. Gave him the basketball. Went right back into the house. I'm going, I got this one. I got this one. My mother came in.
Like you didn't even see what comics. He was just like,
nope.
Done.
Nope. It was like, feed it. Right there. Put Marvel right there. Feed it.
He said, I need it.
I was like, I got this. So I came in and my mom looked at me and I looked up at her. She started smiling, shook her head. She said, "That's my son." And went to the kitchen of my grandmother. 2 hours later, my uncle comes through. He sees me with the comics because they used to see me with comics. And he's going, "How you doing, nephew? Hey, Uncle Johnny, how you doing? Oh, you good? Did you like that basketball?" "Yeah." "Yes, sir." "Yes, sir, I did. Thank you." He says, "No problem." He goes to the kitchen. And the conversation that ensued between him, my mom, and my grandmother will live in my mind forever. Because my mother and grandmother told him that boy is not an athlete. What is you trying to do? He likes to read. He likes dictionaries and thesauruses and encyclopedias. And you trying to turn him into a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar? He's short. What the hell were you thinking? Oh my gosh. I thought about that conversation years later and I laughed. You know that out loud laugh you have when you just realize something? I'm so glad I live by myself. People would have thought I was crazy. I said, my grandmother was a plug. Oh my gosh. My grandmother was a plug. So my love for comics was natural because the heroes and the characters and then as I got older, finding out more about the artwork and the writing and having the chance to meet other people who look like me I could talk comics with. I didn't get near that until, well, a couple of friends in grade school, and then I got to high school. I didn't realize I cosplayed in high school until I actually did it, and I thought about it almost 20 years later. Was like, fuck, I did cosplay. Huh.
What did you cosplay as in high school?
Oh my gosh. I actually cosplayed as Mohandas K. Gandhi. It was a final project for my class in Great Books. So we were supposed to portray a nonfiction character that existed, whether they are
Yeah.
here or they're past. So I looked up, I said, yeah, Martin Luther King is gonna get too much shine. We see him too
Yeah.
much. Malcolm X, I don't know. His crotch is burning. I don't want to do that with him. He might get all, militant and whatnot. So, and something said, what about Gandhi? I went, oh, okay. So I went home. I said, Mama, do you have a sheet I could use for school? What you need a sheet for? For my Great Books class. Yeah, look in the closet. Get the one that looks kind of brown. Okay, perfect. I got flour out of her cabinet. My stepdad at the time, he had these little circular glasses, like the ones that like Gandhi wore.
Right.
And I went out and I found the most crooked looking stick I could find. It was about as tall as me. I looked so weird coming on that school bus with all this stuff on me. I went before the class, I went to the bathroom, I got dressed, and I came back out and I took on the whole persona because I studied. He had the droop in his, he had the droop in his back, and he's using the cane, the stick to support him like a staff. And I would greet everybody and say, hello, good evening. How are you doing? It's a pleasure to meet you. People, of course, white folks was laughing, but the black folk was like, I fucks with this. Before the bell rang, I walked into the class. He looked at me, he said, Montel, no, I don't know who this Montel is you speak, but he asked me to come in his stead and perhaps talk to you about my philosophies on life. My name is Mohandas K. Gandhi, but you can call me Mahatma. He was in tears. He loved it. I walked up there and I sat down and he said, ladies and gentlemen, we have Mahatma Gandhi here. It's a pleasure. Forgive me, but standing and sitting is kind of difficult at my age. So I will just sit down here. Man, that was one of the best.
Okay, you double down into that character. I respect it. I love that. I think the wildest thing I did was I think is when I first started out with Amerime. Remember, Demon? I went to Comic-Con as Black Donald Trump. Yeah.
There's a picture of him getting punched out by Wonder Woman.
I had the jacket. I had a blue jacket.
Oh
I found a MAGA hat. It was like white and blue. I had a golf club. I had a shitty wig.
Wow, sir.
There's one that we did when we both went to a convention together.
Mm-hmm.
I was cosplaying as a menace.
Oh God. Oh yeah, I did woke Rick.
He did Woke Rick, and I did Anarchy Morty.
I had a dashiki. I had blue locks. I had a portal gun. I was like, time for your bullshit, Morty. We gotta go stop capitalism.
Oh my goodness.
I was walking around trying to set shit on fire and start getting run fades.
Just walk and say, I know your boos mean nothing to me. I know it makes you cheer.
But with that Black Trump, when I sat on the Iron Throne, everyone just looked at me like, "Oh shit, that's way more disturbing than I thought it would be."
Oh my god, bam!
I'm sitting up there. I got the golf club. I'm like, I walked up on a guy dressed as Winter Soldier. I was like, "Hail Hydra."
What was his reaction when he saw you?
He looked at like You know he has a mask on, but he just saw his eyes go.
Somewhere in the convention, Peter Griffin is screaming, "Dang, Pfizer done! Dang, Pfizer done!"
Side note that Rob Francesi, the Peter Griffin.
Mhm. Mhm.
I'm think the next time I should cosplay, especially if I get into sleep, I'm gonna go even more as a menace and just walk around as Homelander.
Oh
Oh,
hell!
good lord.
Oh my gosh! I want photographic proof of this. Okay,
Well, you
I
already.
want.
I have to get the costume and whatnot. It's gonna be in all gray. All the gold parts are gonna be silver, and it's going to be the Blue Lives Matter flag. Or
Oh my
Yo,
gosh! Oh my gosh, fam!
I
straight
mean,
menace.
still better than A Train back to Africa.
Oh my god, definitely better than A-Train back there.
What? Oh hell! Come on, fam! Really?
Have you
Really?
have you not seen the last season of The Boys?
I've been trying to avoid it.
Nah,
Only.
you
Oh my
You
you
gotta
god.
got
go
you
watch
got
it.
you have to.
Okay, Dad. Jeez. Okay, fine. I'll do my homework. God.
Just remember that Edna was right. No
No,
capes.
no cakes. Sidebar. The Incredibles says a lot about superheroes that really don't get talked about.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Because there's a lot of social commentary going on in that, and just underrated.
Like
Just
it's just really smart conversations about superheroes and how it would work. Because it's like, yeah, I could see people suing. I'm like, that's definitely a thing.
don't worry, darling. We'll sue them for everything. Don't worry. We'll recompensate you for all troubles and pain.
Which reminds me of that latest episode of She-Hulk. Like they,
I haven't seen it yet. I'm
so
still
I'll
working up
just
to it.
I'll leave it at that. Meanwhile, oh
I couldn't be sued. You couldn't. They're
It's like, what
suing
would
you
you
for
get from me?
property damage.
It's like, what would you get from
Okay,
me?
what you gonna get from me? Like,
Yeah. It's like I'm
what? And
broke.
it also depends on the powers I have. Because if you don't got nobody strong enough to make me come to that courtroom, then you just gonna be asked out.
like this sounds like a job for the taxpayers,
Oh
which
my
I
gosh.
also don't do. Ha ha!
Ha ha.
Bye.
I think if I was a superhero, I would do this thing. People made the skits that people made with Skeletor. Like after I come in, save the day, drop some random fucked up knowledge on everybody, and be like, until we meet again, and then slide.
I would prefer to dip in and out of situations like Wong. Wong pops in, he does what he got to do. They're like, "Hey, you know we're supposed to press charges on you," and I'm out.
Like, you supposed to grab him when he came in here. I didn't know he was gonna be here. You didn't tell me. I didn't know he was coming either. Then why the fuck you getting mad at me? You got cuffs. You should have jumped him. I see. I got this. Yeah, sacroiliac. You ain't broke. You just stupid.
I got a question for you.
Mhm.
Last 3 songs you listened to.
Abandoned by Danae, the young lady I talked to last night. Robbie Williams by CeeLo Green,
Mm.
and actually, What a Man Won't Do for by Joe.
Hmm.
I'm very eclectic in my music. If it appeals to me and it touches me, it's mine, and I love the song.
Okay. Favorite film genre.
Ooh, fiction fantasy, absolutely.
Ooh.
Fiction fantasy. I read The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings growing up, so I was stoked when the movies came out, and I loved every bit of it. The cinematography, the writing, the characters. I loved all of that. I remember when the Lord of the Rings was done by Rankin Bass, and it was on CBS. It was an animated movie of it.
Hmm.
So this is back in the day when there was a holiday cartoon for everything. So CBS was really doing the thing, and I really fell in love with it. If it's a movie based off an adaptation of a book that I've read, I'm more curious about it. Like H.G. Wells' A Time Machine,
Mm.
C.S. Lewis' Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. I'm sorry, Chronicles of Narnia. Bullshit. It was The Lion, the Witch, and the
What's your
Wardrobe.
wardrobe? So
So people try to correct me. I'm like, how old are you? You barely older than that latte you drinking. Shut your ass up. I can't stand. Oh my gosh. You want to know my biggest pet peeve? Please don't let me be someone younger than me and they correct me. How many lifetimes have you led? Huh? Huh? I've eaten more Pop Tarts than you shitted. So I don't even want to hear it, okay? Oh my gosh. Yo, I'm 53 years old. And I can honestly say I've lived a blurred life. And I love every bit of it. And I have no problem with it. And I've had the chance to meet some amazing people. But it's those basement virgins. You call them gatekeepers. I call them basement virgins.
ooh.
Matter of fact, hold on. You see the sticker right here? I created that. That is on a t-shirt.
Oh.
Basement
Okay.
virgins are canceled. Courtesy.
Can we stop talking bad about the basement? Ain't nothing wrong with the basement.
It's not the
We got
location, it's
basement
the people.
virgins. We got basement dwellers.
no.
Basements are getting
No.
Basement dwellers are okay.
I grew up with
getting bad
basements.
rap.
I love basements. Once upon a time, I was a virgin back in the days of the Paleozoic era. So those times have passed. So those are two different words. Separately, they cause no problem. However, we put them together. What we have are gatekeepers. I'm talking people who lived in their mama's basement wearing that nasty old Flintstone shirt, listen to the same old tired games and books and stuff like that, coming to the convention, smell like a 6-day wet old hot pocket and trying to correct me on my knowledge of comics, anime, and any type of fiction. Really?
Hey, what?
Really?
Oh,
You smell like a nightmare. Why are you here? Who are you?
I've been wanting to go to a convention and dressed up. You know what? Was it Tokyo Revengers? No, the gang kids dressed in Japan. I've been wanting to go to conventions dressed like that with a bunch of people with nothing but breeze and bars of soap inside socks. We just gonna stroll.
What
Every
the
funky
hell?
motherfucker we see at a
Sir,
convention.
I'm so glad you can't do that. Dear God. I'd be like, what happened to Demon? Well, his era has come to an end. Something about a sock and ivory soap. That's all I know.
For some weird reason, I just imagined you had like soap inside of a sock and you were like nunchucking it around. Just, ah! Ah!
The,
And
the trick is
there be
the
people
trick
with
is
the
you just
cons.
can't take the regular sock and a dry bar of soap. You grab one of the bottles of water. You make sure you fill that shit up. Switch it around so it's all sudsy and whatnot. And then whop, whop, whop.
How you knocking people out and leaving them fresh and clean?
Let this be a lesson to you, or else I have to come back.
I feel like I'm listening to the beginning of a villain origin story. Even has a bright deep, the villain with the good intros music. Dun, 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 dun. I'm gonna fuck up your whole life. Yeah, it's what I do.
I didn't come here in the name of justice. I came in here because I want smoke and serenity.
Worst movie you've ever seen?
Justice League.
Ooh.
And I'll take it to my grave.
Wow, that's the worst.
No. You know what? I revoke my answer.
Yeah.
There was one that was worse. Superman, Batman.
Ooh.
Why did you say that?
Superman, Batman, because that is a clear case of taking 3 storylines, condensing them into one movie, and trying to convince these people out here that that's how it went. Oh, nigga, that's not how that happened. No, that's not how that is. It's like watching that virtual of someone playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And they're playing pot of greed, drawing 3 cards. and they go activate pot of greed, draw 3 cards again, and their opponent says, "That's not how that works. That's not how any of this works." Yeah, none of that worked well. I saw the movie, and me being someone who loves comics, I'm watching this thing and I'm going, "Wait, that can't be Doomsday. Why does he look like a streamlined mud puddle? What the hell?"
Yo.
There was nothing intimidating about. I'm said the Doomsday that I remember. That Joker looked brutal in the comics. I mean,
First of all, just there were so many things with Batman versus Superman I couldn't digest. Now, the premise of it, like the movie started strong. Because I was like, okay. I was like, this is where you guys want to start right here. Okay. I see why Bruce is pissed. I was like, I understand his beef with Superman right off the bat. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
After that, things start getting a little shaky.
Oh my god!
And then when they introduced Lex Luthor, I was just like,
Why does he look like a junior in college? What the hell?
I'm like, this Lex Luthor looks like he gets kicked in the dick a lot. That Lex Luthor looks like he uses my dad as an excuse a lot of times.
No, he used to watch Silver Spoons and think that's how he should act, like Ricky Schroeder. That's how he was. That's how he looked. I was like, oh my gosh, why am I having a different strokes Silver Spoons flashback? As soon as he came on the scene, I could hear the music. Here we are, face to face, a couple of silver.
I liked the character's intention, but the execution was horrible.
Agreed.
And this is gonna sound crazy. And I want to replace Lex Luthor with Keegan Michael Key with a workout. Give Keegan Michael Key 30 pounds of muscle. He's already got the great bald head.
The sad part is I can see that.
Yeah.
The sad part is I can actually see that, and I'm losing brain cells thinking about that.
That makes one of us. I can't see it because currently I can't see a future for DC. But that's
Wow, there is zero hope up in here.
I mean, hey, they've got The Rock and Shazam and
we're not gonna talk about Shazam because they pissed me off with what they did with Shazam. They really made me mad with that.
They got The Rock, Shazam, Ezra Miller is Earbird Phone cosplaying as Flash.
Yo, you know what the sad part is? I like Shazam, even as flawed as it was. I was like, you know what? I still like this. For a movie, my only issue was the tonal shifts. Because it would go lighthearted, then oh my god, they're killing a room of people.
yeah.
And then Shazam's flossing, and I'm like, wait, what?
Oh my gosh.
Baby boy.
I will say this. I tried to give it a chance, but you're looking at someone who was one of the generation who watched Saturday mornings. So not only did you have cartoons, they were also interspersed with live action shows.
Mm-hmm.
So the Shazam I grew up with, there was no joking, ha ha, he.
Right.
He was a superhero. In the comics, he may have looked comical, but he wasn't comic relief. So whoever at DC had the mindset to turn a hero who equivalently is equal in power to Superman, except he doesn't have the weakness of magic because he gets his power from magic. I thought it was such a bullshit deal. Like, why DC? Just like they cast Ryan Reynolds as Hal Jordan in Green Lantern. Fam.
Listen, casting was the least of that movie's problems.
Agreed. But Ryan Reynolds is every fucking where. I get sick of hearing his voice. Just Just like Steve Bloom. Love Steve Bloom. He is my Spike Spiegel forever. But Steve,
Well, because apparently Ryan is the new man that every man is supposed to be secretly attracted to.
well, they're attracted to Deadpool because there are billions of them at cons. So enjoy that. That's all I
Don't
Wow.
gotta say.
mention don't
Don't y'all
don't
sound like peas in a pod.
don't mention that fucking
I've
that
never been
film.
so sick of a character in all my days. It's like, wow.
I hate Deadpool with a violent passion.
My biggest
He's
issue
only
is
famous because Stance is a goddamn simp.
my only issue is a lot of those Deadpool fans have never actually read a Deadpool comic.
And that's the a lot of them never read a Deadpool
Dang.
comic.
They seen the movie and they go, "Oh, this is great. He's a wisecracker. He's a killer." Let's go back a little further in the annals of history where he spoke very little, and
Hmm.
when he did speak, he had a purpose behind it, and he just killed people. He was a
Yeah.
badass. He was a true badass, and they turned him into this clown, this merc with a mouth.
Well, the problem was, they had to retool him because he was too much.
He
He's
was just
already too much
Marvel's.
like
He was just
Deathstroke.
yeah. He was just
So
Marvel's Deathstroke.
they had to do
Man, Deadpool
something.
was nothing like Deathstroke. Come on. Those two may have been similar, but they were so different. Because guess what? Deathstroke took out the Teen Titans by himself.
True. Dead.
Deathstroke did a lot of shit, but we won't talk about that.
Mm.
Inquiring minds don't need to know because we already know.
I'm just shocked they put her in the Teen Titans. Like, you
Listen,
ain't gonna hide that. Nah.
When it comes to comics, I love where history has come, but when you're introducing it to a new generation, please take as much from the source material as you can with your own tweaks to it, with your own changes, maybe a couple of nuances here that are strictly for the cinematic presentation.
mm,
But in comics, that's what it's for. Don't fuck it up because you're trying to bring people to the screen because now you're compromising the story in itself and how the character's portrayed. I have never seen someone straight laced take on Deadpool as he was when he was drawn by Rob Liefeld. He was a badass. He was a major badass. Now he's just this comic
You hear
character
that,
who
Warner Brothers? Are you taking notes?
they ain't paying attention to my monkey ass because I'm too damn old. Fuck them. Pardon my German.
that's okay.
And
We
that's
we're very foul mouthed
why
here.
that
Just like the Eternals. Love the movie. I love the movie for what it was. I love the movie for what it was. But I'm a bigger fan of the comic and how it came up. And there was so much crossover that they could have done with
Mhm.
this. I don't even know what phase 4 is going to go. You can sit here and drop hints all you like.
I just have one question about the Eternals.
why
Mhm.
was Jon Snow?
When the fuck is the wait? What did you say?
Why was Jon Snow fucking serious?
Oh my god!
Like you didn't get enough trauma in the last show you was in,
Kit Harington did not have a choice. That man trying to pay his mortgage, okay?
Yo, I'm not gonna lie. That might have been the most out of place, weird sex scene I've seen in a while. Cause I was just like, I didn't know this. I didn't know this movie came with a sex scene. Okay, I
the
guess.
robots could fuck.
I was
Yeah.
like,
So yeah. So what was your question?
when is the rest of Marvel going to talk about the giant statue sticking out of the damn planet?
You want to know when? When is acceptable to? Don't. They've been going through a lot. That's not the question. Like, look, we just got sat here and got unsnapped.
See, my answer would have been like that song by Heart. You know this song? Never.
No,
Yeah.
it's gonna be addressed. I guarantee you, when Samuel L. Jackson come back in the Secret Invasion, he's gonna be like, "Well, what the hell is this?" He was like,
I'm so excited for Secret Invasion. I can't wait to see what they're going to do.
He might question it, but I don't think no one's really gonna care.
Look, yeah,
Between
no
the
one's gonna give a
alien
hoot.
invasion, we
They gonna
got
be
Asgardians now. Thank God the Hawk is here, not fucking everything. This thing going just like, know what? I ain't gonna question.
oh
It's
my
just the
goodness.
I,
same way we hear a random noise in the middle of the night, just like
man, come on.
that don't sound like my.
It's like, do.
All right. Well, wait. Let's wrap this one up. Then we can roll into the geek report. So for the folks who are watching live, we're just doing an exit. We're doing a exit out here, but we're not leaving.
That's what they all say. Yes, that's why I
Demon, you
have divorce papers in my house. That's what they all
Demon,
say.
you following me, right? Like,
I don't know what you thought. I don't know if you thought, but I'm gonna be just like your daddy.
no.
He's going to go get that milk. Let's go. He's going to get that milk. He's going to get that milk. Okay.
No, I mean we're gonna do our sign off and outro for the sake of our YouTube, our YouTube where this is gonna get posted, and then we're just so he can have
Come on,
an editing point to cut it
hop up.
at, and then we're gonna roll straight to the geek report. I can't believe you were just gonna try it up and leave.
He looked at the
Yeah.
camera, just said milk, and then walked out. That's all he said. It's like,
Oh my goodness!
and
But
just
no,
bounced.
but seriously, Bloody Corn, there is so many layers just talking to you. I need you back on like several more times. I like you. This is this is nice. I'm like this is fun.
I will definitely come back on. This has been wonderful. Oh, look at
Oh,
the puppy.
look
Look
at
at
the
the blurry
baby.
puppy. The puppy's so blurry. He's like, what the
Look at the
hell?
baby.
Who's calling me a puppy? I'm telling you right now, I'm grown.
He
I'm
is.
grown.
Rico actually is grown. He's just a little guy.
He is my precious boy. He is not a. He's my child. He's not a. He's not grown.
He's gonna come to you one day while you're sleeping. Father, I implore upon you to apply nourishment to my person. I know
And
that
that's
you
when
are
he's
in
gonna be like,
some.
Corey, what acid did you give me?
What? That was a regular margarita. What you talking about?
Oh man. But no,
Um,
seriously, for the Blurred Corn, we want to thank you for coming in today. We want to thank you guys who are uh, out there who tuned in, checking us out, and for you guys out there who are on the podcast, we want to appreciate you guys for tuning in and listening. Where you are. Uh, Navy Montel, tell folks where people can find you.
Okay, it's quite simple. You can find me on Instagram and on Twitter under Navy Montel. I do the Blurred Corn combos at least once a week, where I get the chance to spotlight creatives across all platforms, across all genres, and have a chance to become a bridge, so that way they can be seen, acknowledged, and most importantly, supported. I am on Twitch and on YouTube under Rogue Catnip. Not Rouge. This is not makeup. Not ROUGE Catnip. I swear to God, don't do it. Don't do it. People are like, I got to spell it wrong. It's because you're thinking about blush. This is not your date. And I am also one half of the Blurred Corn Speaks podcast with Miss Angie. We're across all podcast platforms, including Spotify. Never thought I'd say that in my total life. And also 1/6 of the Color Commentary Wrestling podcast, and across all podcast platforms, because we talk pro wrestling. Let's go. And I'm
I didn't
just
know about the pro wrestling. Now, wait a minute.
yes. The podcast is myself, Nick from Do You Speak Geek. We have Slim Jones, Static Jones, Lucia, and Nick's amazing wife, KD cosplay. And we talk wrestling. We talk pro wrestling
I
because we're
like
all.
talking wrestling.
Well, then sounds like you need to listen to the podcast there,
Yeah, I
young.
do. All right. Well, you got yourself a new listener. Most definite.
Yeah, Nick's is gonna be so proud of me. I'm gonna get a cookie. Yeah.
This is the Amerime Junkies Demon Engine. It's always fun. We're about to roll into the Geek Report, but for now, we'll see you later.
Hi, everybody. This is Corey Salsa True Floyd for Amerime Media, and I hope you enjoyed this podcast video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to check out our other videos right over here. You have a good one. See you around.